Now, speaking of other missing pieces, you may be wondering one thing about the Mets offense. Where is JD Martinez? Well, after electing to begin the season in the minor leagues to ramp up after signing a week before opening day, Martinez played 2 games last week with Single-A Port St. Lucie before stopping action after experiencing regular ramp-up soreness. A few days ago, Mets manager Carlos Mendoza announced that Martinez received a cortisone shot for lower back soreness last Tuesday. The Mets were reportedly hopeful that Martinez could have some movements on Saturday before revealing that the veteran DH will begin swinging the bat once again on Monday after Sunday's game against the Royals. As we all know, the Mets signed JD Martinez to a 1-year, $4.5 million contract that includes deferred payments of $1.5 million a year from 2034 to 2038, with his debut in the 2024 Mets starting lineup still yet to be known. I think that the main question I'm just going to ask you straight up, and then you can go into whatever tangent you want to go on, is what is the concern level for you with JD Martinez? Because we've seen some injury history before with him, before he was a Met.
I think there's always that risk that you take when you sign a guy at that age. Like, there's always that elevated chance for injury. And the thing that is concerning is that this isn't the first time with his back. He's been dealing with back troubles plenty of times these past few years. So for that to come back, no pun intended, I do find that to be concerning. I don't think there's something that's like, oh, he's only out a week or two. It's something that it just show up again, later in the year. All of a sudden, and I feel like we saw it was, oh God, what year was that? I think it was 22 when he had the bad back and he still played the second half of the season with the bad back and hit like no home runs. Like his power was just gone, but he played through it. I don't want to see that. I think that, you're here to help us. If you're not 100%, then maybe we do revisit that conversation of, okay, Mark Vientos is here and he is going to play every day, whether it's at DH and those days where he's not DHing, he's at third and Martinez DHing or Alvarez DHing, whatever. Like, there's still got to be a way to still provide offense for the team. And like we've said with Senga, I mean, the offense has been better than I expected it to be, better than I thought it'd be. And that's with Lindor giving them close to nothing. I think that ultimately when you look at the amount of guys that are crossing home plate for the Mets, without JD Martinez, it's more than I thought it'd be. I think that I was expecting this big a year from Brett Beatty. Alonso has been really good. Alvarez has been good. So, I mean, we'll see once all said and done. But similar to the thing with Senga, when it's like, if the guy's not 100% and he's not going to be here to stay here, then again, there's no point rushing him, because I think that, for the Mets to kind of actually make the playoffs and be a little competitive, you need JD Martinez to actually be in that lineup doing things. So I think that if it's something that you're not going to get what you paid for, then you really got to take it slow with him as well.
Yeah, let me say, in terms of the Mets offense, in terms of sustainability, and listen, I'm not going to rain on anybody's parade here. They still need JD Martinez. They still need JD Martinez.
Do, but I mean, considering they've been able
But, we're seeing the run total, and it's like, no, they still need JD Martinez.
Yeah, I'm definitely a little bit concerned about Jed Lowry.
Jed Martinez.
The back problems don't sound good. Carlos Mendoza made it sound like he was paralyzed the other day. I genuinely am curious what if he's like okay. I mean, clearly he's going to swing the bat tomorrow, but Mendoza did say, the ramp up he's been going on, he's taken over 100 live at bats in 2 weeks.
Yeah, that was pretty crazy what they said.
That's crazy. What are we doing? I love the Mets, man. The Mets are hilarious.
They're funny. They're a funny team. Yep. They always will be.
Mendoza said in his press conference that JD dealt with the back last year a little bit too. We're taking it slow. We're catching it. We're making sure it's out the way. If it's out the way, he'll be up. He'll be ready to hit. The Mets offense definitely needs him. I agree with you, Carson. I want to tip my cap to Brett Beatty and Francisco Alvarez. That being said, I'm not 1,000% sold on their offensive out. More Brett Beatty. I think Alvarez is a proven power hitter who's going to produce, especially from the catcher position. Defensively, completely different question. Defensively, I love what I'm seeing. He's a better player than he was last year. I think my point stands that the Mets offense needs more protection, especially with the uncertainty of a lot of batters continuing to produce the way they have been, for me, at least, in my personal opinion. We got to give JD his time. His bat's going to be too valuable. I'm sure they will move Marte down after that. They wouldn't. That would be odd.
Alonso needs to bat second. I mean, I really just, this is just dumb at this point. Like, the guy is just so significantly better.
But he's hit all the home runs in the cleanup position because that's what the power hitters do.
Right. But he's been so just ridiculously better than everyone on the team that he needs to bat more frequently. You know, so Alonso needs to hit second. That's just me.
I mean, if I were running the team, if I were the manager, I would definitely put Alonso second and probably Martinez third and maybe Lindor fourth.
Or eighth.
I'd put Lindor ninth, okay? That bum is batting 120 for the $341 million contract, and he's swinging at garbage.
Thank you so much, Mike.
Mike from Socrates. In terms of the concern level, I understand that you always have like these serious injuries with the UCL and the ACL and the Achilles and everything. For me, every time when I hear the back, it instantly makes me think of David Wright, and it gets me really, really scared. No matter what, I will always have concern with that in the back of my mind. For JD Martinez, as for somebody who has been able to basically save their career by being a designated hitter, I'm not too worried in the long term yet. I also can go to the other side and say that I wouldn't be very surprised if things don't go well and he lands on the IL. And that is when that answered the question, what do you do with Mark Vientos? That's when it opens up that.
I think Mark Vientos can be a good hitter. DJ Stewart is showing you he is a good hitter. He had about 15 plate appearances. And look, I understand people were mad there were big spots he did not come through.
The contact rates are inconsistent, but they're...
Yeah, but like at the end of the day, it's like it was way too small of a sample to say DJ Stewart couldn't hit. DJ Stewart can hit. He can hit for power. He can get on base. DJ Stewart's a much safer pick than Mark Vientos to me. I don't think it's going to work out here. It's a really awkward situation. He's not the long-term solution.
The one thing with DJ Stewart, which, you know, in terms of the approaches that we've seen, he had a really tough time with pitch selection when he was with the Orioles. And I mean, he is, you know, he's in the top 5% right now in chase rate. He's walking a lot. You know, he is being very selective in pitches. Obviously, the swing and miss is still there because we have seen him strike out a lot, but he is hitting really good pitches and making contact. But the contact rates are a little bit inconsistent, but if he can find that kind of consistency, again, I would not be opposed to if JD Martinez is here, DJ Stewart, if he keeps hitting, you can keep him on the bench because I don't think that he needs to play every day to be a successful hitter.
Which Vientos does.
Which Vientos does, obviously, because he's a lot younger. DJ Stewart, I think we've accepted. He's in his 30s. You take what you can get from him.
Also, like DJ Stewart has had a lot more MLB experience. Unless JD Martinez is out for the season with an injury, there is no consistency for him to find at-bats in this lineup.
I mean, listen, I hope that JD Martinez comes back as quick as he can because, like Frank has talked about a lot, runners on base, they're not cashing them in, and that's something that JD Martinez knows how to do.